Hey everybody, this is Maria with Simplified Bookkeeping. I'm so glad to join you for another video. I am totally in my casuals today. It is Friday and I'm going to be doing a workout here in a little bit. And so I wanted to come to you with today's video, and I believe is a very important topic that a lot of you will relate to. And if there's anything that you can do as a small business owner, these are some of the most important things that you can do. So I know right now we're kind of in the middle of this coronavirus epidemic. We have all different things that are going on. I mean, I'm like you, I'm at home. I have two kids that are homeschooling, one that has a curriculum, another one that I have built her a curriculum to do, trying to sort of manage and juggle all of these balls. I totally get it. And so, but I wanted to put this video together to give you 4 tips on how to learn from the coronavirus pandemic and how to put your business on a simpler and more profitable path moving forward. So let's get into this with these tips that we have to go over today. Some of you are, all of us are in different places. Some of you might have had something happen where you have completely had to shut down. Your business is closed, you have no clients, and you might be panicking as far as, when am I going to be able to open up? What is the status of my business going to be when I open up? Some of you have taken advantage of some of the Paycheck Protection Program loans that are out there. As of the recording of this video, those funds are now gone, and we're not sure if there will be any more funds or not. So some of you might have had sort of a setback in your business. You're still open, but you've had a setback of some kind. Some of you really aren't feeling the pinch, at least right now, of anything that's happening. So, but regardless of where you are, we're all very aware of what's happening, and we can worry and we can, just start to contemplate where we are and what this means for the future. And so these 4 tips I want to share with you, because I think if there's anything, and of course myself as a bookkeeper, I think about the financial aspect of the business more than any other. But I can promise you that if you do these 4 tips of all the stuff going on, if you'll focus and complete these 4 steps, these 4 action items, then what you can do is start to reduce the amount of panic and worry that you feel. And you can instead really embrace the facts and know where you are, know where your numbers are today, and then put a plan moving forward. So let's go ahead and dive into this. The first step that you want to do, the first action item, is to recognize where you are and what is essential. So I'll say that again. Recognize where you are and what is essential. So, question: how much money did your business bring in the first quarter of 2020? If you do not know that number, you absolutely need to figure that out. So if you're using an Excel spreadsheet, if you have to go into your bank account, if you go into QuickBooks, wherever you're going to go, I want you to know that number. I also want you to forecast for April of 2020 what that number is going to be as well. So don't just sort of think about it or sort of worry about it. Really get down to the numbers and figure out what you're forecasting your April to look like. The other thing that you want to do in this tip is you want to know what is essential. So just like you've looked back at your revenue numbers for Q1, I want you to also look at what were your expenses in Q1. How much money did you pay out in payroll? How much did you pay for, let's say, apps if you run an online business? What were your utility payments? All of those expenses. How much did you pay yourself? All of those things I want you to look at, and then make some decisions around what is essential that you continue to pay for. So you might have things that have just been charged on a credit card and you haven't called to cancel it. Go ahead and cancel those things. But make a list of what is essential for you to continue with your business, and then for those things that are not essential, go ahead and cancel them. You can always sign up for them later when you have a better idea of the income that you're going to have coming in. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to reduce or stop taking a salary or a draw. So if you're a brand new business owner or someone that's just getting started, you're probably like, I'm not taking anything out of the business right now. I'm just trying to get going. But if you had an established business and you are set up like an S corporation where you're taking a salary from your business, or you've been taking a certain amount of draw each month, I want you to ask yourself, what can you do to either eliminate that or reduce it as much as possible? And so, of course, this necessitates you knowing your personal finances as much as your business finances. So if you've been paying yourself $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month, what do you need to live on? How much of that income do you need to take out of the business in order to pay your personal bills? Can you stop taking that money and rely on a spouse or someone else or another income stream to be providing for you and your family during this time? So my challenge to you is, even if you reduce the amount of money that you're paying yourself, my challenge is for you to take the difference. So let's say you were paying yourself $5,000 a month and now you're going to reduce it down to $2,000. My challenge to you is to take the $3,000, you put it in a savings account, open up a new account and start putting cash into that account so that when you open your business, you have a better place from where you can start operating from, right? Because if you have had a setback, then you're not going to have as much cash, and it's better to have some cash than it will be to sort of finance getting started again on a credit card. So make sure you have enough cash set aside, enough cash flow that you can pay those expenses once you get things going, or when your clients start working with you again, or whatever the case may be. So that's really what you want to think about, is that any cash that's coming in, I want to have the absolute minimum amount going out, and I want to put the rest of it, I want to have a plan for the rest of the money and put it into a savings account. Tip number 3 is to get outside the box. Okay, this is completely unrelated to the financial things that we've been talking about. Well, sort of, it's related, but a little bit more distantly. I want you to think about the products or the services that you're offering right now. And I want you to think outside of the box and think about what are some other products and services that are related to what I'm doing that could bring in another stream of income. So if you are primarily a service-based business, are there other services that you could add on to what you're doing as an add-on service, or a product that you could sell that would be a complement to what you're already doing? Same goes for those of you that are mainly product oriented. Are there services that you could offer in addition to the products that you are selling? So I'm going to give you guys an example. I have been always really listening to my clients, but I've really been listening even more, I think, with all of this going on. And one thing that I identified is that not every small business owner needs a monthly bookkeeping service. What I found is that a business, once it's to a certain point, will need a monthly bookkeeping service. But a lot of people have been talking about, I need a bookkeeper, I need somebody to ask questions to, but I don't necessarily have enough going on to need someone on a monthly basis or be able to pay for somebody on a monthly basis. And so what I did just this week is create a quarterly bookkeeping service to still be available, to still be the person that people can call or email with questions, but then still be there just on a quarterly basis until they can start really ramping up their business to where there's more, going on with their business as far as customers and bills and that sort of thing. So that's just an example of how you want to think through the services and products that you can provide, and again, provide another income stream into your business. So, and how do you do this? One way to do this is just to ask your customers, ask your current clients, maybe the clients you don't have anymore, the customers that you've done work for in the past, what they liked, what they thought that you could offer in addition. So it's really just listening to your customers, asking them questions. There's also something, you could set up a Survey Monkey. You can just go to surveymonkey.com and create a free survey and send it out to your email list, or send it out to people, or post it on your Facebook page. but start to really get feedback from your existing and your current customers and your previous customers on what you could do to maybe expand that a little bit more. The last tip that I have for you is to build a 12-month plan based on your new model and plan to save for a rainy day. So a lot of us have heard of the rainy day fund, right? We know it's a good idea to have a rainy day fund. And a lot of us might have been stuck without a rainy day fund. We don't have enough cash to be able to keep the business going and keep the employees employed and all of that. And so you really can't ever get away from that really cash is important. And it's the number one reason why businesses close is because there's not enough cash flow. There's just too much money going out the door. In most cases, sometimes you have a problem with funds coming in. But what I want you to do with this last tip is to build yourself a conservative 12-month plan based on the new numbers. So I want you to project for the next 12 months. What do you think your revenue in your business is going to be? And also, what do you think those expenses are going to be? So preferably, you're going to keep those expenses to a minimum. You're going to keep your draw or your salary to a minimum. And you're going to forecast how much money am I going to be able to put away in cash over the next 12 months. And so what you really want to aim for is you want to aim to have at least 3 months of operating expenses in your savings account, okay? And so if you're on QuickBooks, or send me a message or comment, I can give you some ideas of some different reports that you can run in QuickBooks to help you with this. But you have to know your number. You've got to know your number about how much money does it cost for me just to keep going each and every month. And so what you want to know is that number. And then you want to put aside at least 3 months of that number into a savings account that's just ready in case anything happens. And so those are the tips from this video and what I want you to walk away from at the end of this time. I know your time is so precious. Time is just so very precious. There's never enough of it. So what I want you to walk away with is when you've completed these steps, to really have a sense of peace and calm that you have enough no matter what happens. You feel a little bit more in control. You feel more at peace with just whatever happens. You realize that you can't control everything, but you have certainly been wise about what you can control. And so please subscribe to our channel for a lot more helpful accounting and financial advice coming your way for small businesses. And please comment or ask me any questions. You can find us at simplifiedbookkeeping.co. Talk to you guys soon.